Kira from KiraWilliamsFitness.com, and today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can continue to maintain your motivation and continue to work towards your goals. Even though it's the fall, you might feel more tired, more lethargic, less motivated. And I know that all of these things have a really great impact on us. And we, start getting really tired and we want to kind of like slow it down a little bit. And that's really normal. And I will tell you about why that's normal, at least why I believe that's normal. And we will talk about ways that you can mitigate these things while continuing to maintain the lifestyle that you need to maintain in order to achieve your goals. So I'm going to give you five different things that you can do, 5 different tips throughout the course of this message. So before we get into that, I just want to talk for one moment about what I offer. I am an online personal trainer, and I have a membership website. It is $14 a month. And you get access to a new workout every single day. Every single workout has video demos of every movement, so you can feel super confident that you're doing everything right. You can do these workouts from home, but you just need to have dumbbells and a stability ball and some resistance bands. You can do them at the gym because there are different variations, so you can use a barbell for certain things if you want to. But there's 6 workouts a week. 4 of them are strength training workouts, so that's going to help you build muscle and boost your metabolism and get really, really metabolically healthy. And then there are 2 longer, and when I say longer, no more than 20 minutes, and 2 shorter, so somewhere between like 5 and 10 minutes, cardio workouts a week, as well as some mobility stuff that I've worked with a physical therapist on to add to my training protocol, really solid warm-ups to help you activate the muscles, and stretches to help you increase your range of motion and flexibility. So that is $14 a month. And then I also offer a one-on-one mentorship. So if you want to work with me specifically on your goals, we will be meeting every single week. We'll do that on Zoom. And we will work together on whatever your goals are. We'll be meeting to talk about, everything that's coming up in your life, and, how we can, if you've got like a big Thanksgiving going on and you're going to be traveling, how we can continue to help you maintain your workouts or help you, eat in a way that is going to allow you to feel really great and reach your goals, but also not feel like you're having food FOMO. And so anyhow, I offer both of those 2 things. The mentorship is on a case-by-case basis, so you would actually have to fill out an application. I need to make sure we're on the same page before doing that. But you can find all of that information at KiraWilliamsFitness.com, or send me a message if you just want me to send you a link, or if you want to chat about this. Anyway, so let's get into it. So we're going to talk about 5 different things that you can do to stay on track during the fall. But first, let's start by talking about, why things kind of shift during the fall, why we want to slow down. So if you think about it, nature is in the northern hemisphere, nature is going into recharge mode. We're having fewer hours of sun, and nature knows this. And, the trees are shedding their leaves because they know that they are going to have less access to the energy from the sun that they need. So they shed their leaves so that way they can store everything that they need and, expend less energy, and they conserve and they prepare themselves for receiving less energy. And then that happens in the animal world too. Excuse me. Oh, and down the wrong way. It happens in the animal world too, because we have animals that go into hibernation, or animals that know that the trees are going to be expending less. They're going to have like less acorns falling off the ground. Excuse me. So they go and they get all of the acorns on the ground, they hoard all of them in their homes, and they try and build up body fat because they know they're going to have access to less, or they know they're about to go into hibernation. And that doesn't happen in human world because our lives aren't like that anymore. We have technological advances that we don't have to go out and like store firewood to keep us warm all winter, because all we have to do is change the thermostat. So it doesn't work like that, but it's still like innately inside of us to move in that direction. So it's normal for us to crave certain foods, these certain dense, high energy foods, which we will talk about today. It's normal to slow down and want to expend less energy, because we know that right now, like innately, we feel like we need to be storing everything that we can. And so it's really, really normal to be having these kind of feelings. And it's hard when we are constantly at battle with nature. I mean, nature always wins. So rather than fighting against nature, we are going to take it into consideration and work with it, not against it. So the first tip that I have is to follow the sun as best as you can. And I know that, when I wake up, I live in Florida. When I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, it is still dark. But we are going to get a time change, and I personally prefer this time change. I know most of you guys are complete opposite against me. You want it to be later, longer. But I actually prefer this because I don't like waking up when it's dark. I like waking up with the sun. So if you can wake up with the sun, do your best to do that. I would prefer to wind down early and get up earlier. But obviously all of these things, this is going to be so different from person to person, because you might have to wake up when it's dark and go to bed when it's dark. And I know, changing your wake up and sleep times is not realistic for most people. But do your best to kind of follow the sun. And then more importantly is, when the sun does come out, get outside. Even if it's just looking out the window, or if it's looking through your windshield of your car, if you can go outside, then that's awesome. But just kind of gaze in the direction of the horizon where the sun is coming up. It does wonders for your circadian rhythm and kind of teaches your body those really good sleep-wake patterns. And then also, middle of the day, try to get outside. There's a couple reasons. For one, getting a little bit of sun, even if it's just on your face, can help boost your vitamin D levels, which is going to ultimately give you more energy, which is going to give you more feelings of motivation. But I found this really, really interesting. So I don't know, you may know I've gone to Norway a couple times, and I'm really obsessed with Scandinavian culture. And one of the things that they talk about, because when you're really, when you're in the really northern parts of the country, they either have absolutely no daylight or minimal hours of daylight in the winter. And one of the things that they talk about, in the minimal daylight places, where it really is kind of it's only somewhat light for, 2 or 3 hours a day, they try to do their best to get outside during that little bit of light, because it just getting that little bit of sunlight, while it's not vitamin D on your face because it's not the sun directly, but just getting that little bit of light will help boost your mood, and it really helps with those sleep and wake patterns. And so I feel why not, even though we don't have 24 hours of nighttime here, why not go ahead and try and get outside in the middle of the day and just kind of get a little bit of that sun on the face, and be in the light during the peak hours, and that can help, those circadian rhythms. Um, and then the second one is to eat seasonally. And I don't know, I'm just like a huge believer in this for one, it's really great for the environment because the food doesn't have to travel as far. We're not putting demands on growing things outside of their typical season. It's just so much more beneficial for the environment. But when we eat seasonally, the earth is going to give us the things that the earth knows that we need right now. And so when we're thinking about like different things that are in season right now, I just looked this up and I think this is so fascinating. So, obviously carrots and sweet potato and those orange vegetables have beta carotene, which is an antioxidant. It's going to help boost the immune system. Also has vitamin C, which again boosts the immune system. Cranberries have an enzyme in them, and now I don't remember what it's called, but they have an enzyme in them that actually helps the lungs. So when we're sitting here like fighting a cough, we want to support our lungs, and cranberries actually have something in them. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then apples contain quercetin, and that I actually take that as a supplement because I struggle with my histamine levels, and it's a natural immune fighter. So that can be really helpful, and apples are in season right now. So when we try and eat these foods that are in season, the earth is giving us a lot of the vitamins and nutrients that we really need right now. But then also, and this kind of goes into that third piece, is like the cravings. So it's normal for nature. Nature knows that we need to kind of like store. We're like craving more energy dense foods. And, in back like thousands of years ago, when we needed to kind of like follow the seasons because we didn't have the technological advancements that we do now, we would eat more energy dense foods because it would help us store. So what else is seasonal right now? Root vegetables. So onions and squash. Like if you think about it, squash, ounce for ounce, squash is going to have a lot more energy in it than like celery. And sweet potatoes are going to be a lot more energy dense than like, I don't know, like what's a summer vegetable? Like I'm like cauliflower. And so when we eat these more energy dense foods that, you're getting more calories. When I say energy dense, calorie dense. So ounce for ounce, you're getting more calories in a beet than you would broccoli. And, it's normal to crave these kind of things because, the body is sitting here going like, I need to soar because winter is coming. So we're eating these things, we're eating seasonally. These things taste really, really good. And now, you might be having cravings. You might start having cravings for like soups and pot roast and, higher fat meats. And that's okay. So that kind of leads me into my third piece, which is like lean into those cravings. There's nothing wrong with wanting chili or chicken noodle soup or tomato soup and grilled cheese. But what I will say is just account for them, because if your goal is to lose fat, then you need to be, counting your calories. You need to be pairing protein with everything you eat. So you're balancing your blood sugar. You need to be in a calorie deficit. And you need to be eating high quality foods. And you can do all of those things while leaning into these cravings. So if you are craving chili, then when you make your chili, make sure that it's got plenty of protein in it. So maybe you've got ground beef, maybe you've got bison, maybe you have turkey breast. If you're doing your chicken noodle soup, maybe you're doing more turkey breast than you are chicken breast than chicken thighs. If you are doing, I don't really know what you would do with tomato soup to add protein, but maybe you have, your you eat like some chicken breast, and then you have your tomato soup. But when we do lean into these cravings and pot roast, I mean, are you kidding me? That's meat right there. That's plenty of protein. But these foods tend to be a little bit higher in fat, and that's all good because it's still high quality. You're still making these things at home. You're making them from scratch. That's really great. It's really high quality food, but you just want to make sure that you're not going overboard. And you can do that really easily on fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram. So it's really easy to overdo it. And if you're not in a calorie deficit, then you're not going to be losing fat. So you just want to account for those things. You want to put that stuff in MyFitnessPal or wherever you log your food. And you just want to make sure that you aren't overeating. You are still in a deficit, and you'll still be able to lose fat while you have those things. So my suggestions there, just make sure that you're in that deficit, and then make sure that you're getting protein every time you're eating these things. There's nothing wrong with having grilled cheese and soup, but you need to make sure that you're still getting about like 25, 35 grams of protein in that too. And then the fourth thing is you might be lacking motivation. You might be more tired. So go ahead and recognize it. This might be a period where I am resting more. You can always change your workouts. So if you are somebody who usually feels like I'm going to go outside and I'm going to go for a long walk, I'm going to go for a run, that's going to be my cardio. And you know that there's going to be inclement weather, then if you're not the kind of person who's willing to get on a treadmill, I'm not, change up your workouts. That's why, I offer what I offer. If you are a member of Keira Williams Fitness, then you can work out at home. You don't even have to leave. If it's ice outside, you don't have to go anywhere. If you are that person who would prefer going out for a run for cardio, but you still know you need to do cardio, you could do the conditioning workouts inside your home. Maybe it's time that you start practicing. You're like, I'm cold all the time. Start practicing hot yoga. Go to a hot yoga studio and do that instead of going out for your typical workouts. And then if you have the propensity to want to nap more, it's okay to get more sleep. The body is going to be perfectly happy getting more rest, and it has a lot of benefits. For one, you're boosting your immune system, but it doesn't mean that you need to skip your workouts altogether. If you can still get in 3 to 4 workouts a week, you're still going to be in a really great place to build muscle, lose fat, maintain your health and fitness. So if you don't want to work out 6 days a week, no one's making you. Just get in your 3 to 4. And on those 3 to 4 days, you can work out longer on those 3 to 4 days if that works better for you. So that way you can sleep in longer the other 2 or 3 days. But plan for it. Just know, hey, this is not the time of the year that I really like to crush it in the gym. Okay, totally cool. Don't give yourself a hard time for it. Honor it. But just don't stop. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't stop, whether you need to hire a coach, whether you need to meet with a trainer, meet with a friend who don't try and meet with a friend who is yeah, I need to start going to the gym too, because you're not going to make each other go. You need to actually meet your friend who's in the gym every single day. Go meet her, not the person who's, wishy-washy too. And then the last thing is to recall your why. What is it that drives you? What is it that you want? Get really serious about that. Really, really recognize what it is you want and why it's important to you. Because on those days that it's raining and it's gray, and it's been gray for the last 5 days, and you don't really like to work out at home, but there's ice on the ground and you're just really tired, and you'd rather sit on your couch and watch Friends reruns and eat chili with Fritos, when you would rather be doing that than working out, but you're like, "Ugh, my pants don't fit. I hate it when my pants don't fit. I don't feel good when my pants don't fit. Okay, I'm going to get my ass up and go to the gym." You need to get really serious about your why. What's important to you? Why is it important to you? And just get up and do your thing. Eat your protein, go work out just a few days a week, and it'll all be good. This is just a season. And, the more we, like I said, the more we can work with nature than against nature, the better off we're going to be. Anyway, those are my 5 tips for you. I'd love to hear what's working for you if I didn't mention it in my 5 tips, so that way I can share it with others. So, check it out. KiraWilliamsFitness.com has all of the information about working one-on-one with me, as well as the membership, so you can have access to workouts every day. Check that out, KiraWilliamsFitness.com, and leave me a comment, leave me some feedback, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.